What if your entire world was confined to a dimly lit cubicle, illuminated only by the glow of a computer screen? In Japan, many rely on internet cafe booths as a temporary living space. But how did spaces designed for quick browsing or gaming evolve into a lifeline for those facing housing challenges? Explore the lesser-known lives of Japan's net cafe residents in their journey for stability and hope. But who are these individuals that call internet cafes home? And how did these spaces become their refuge? Beneath Tokyo's skyscrapers lies a lesser-known reality, a network of internet cafes that some rely on for temporary shelter. The individuals who live in these spaces are often referred to as net cafe residents, a term popularized in a 2007 documentary. While these cafes may seem convenient, they are far from comfortable. Each booth is just large enough for a mattress, a pillow, and a computer screen, offering little privacy or personal space. For many, financial strain is at the root of this lifestyle. Rent in cities like Tokyo is prohibitively expensive, often requiring significant upfront payments. Coupled with the rise of temporary jobs offering limited stability, a growing number of people find themselves unable to secure permanent homes. One individual featured in the documentary, a security guard, shared his story. After moving to Tokyo for work, he discovered that his wages couldn't cover his living expenses. He turned to an internet cafe for shelter, balancing his job during the day and returning to a small cubicle at night. While he hoped to save enough to escape this cycle, many in similar situations find it difficult to break free. Unlike the broader homeless population, many net cafe residents hold jobs and strive for stability. They often juggle temporary shifts, earning just enough to pay for nightly stays at the cafes. Their struggles are hidden from colleagues and society as they move between work and their rented cubicles, carrying their belongings in backpacks. While these cafes provide warmth and security, living in such confined, impersonal spaces can take a toll. The lack of privacy, constant noise, and transience leave many feeling isolated and invisible. This phenomenon highlights broader societal issues. The rise of net cafe residents points to economic and social systems that leave vulnerable individuals without adequate support. It raises pressing questions about housing affordability and job security in modern Japan. Did you know about the existence of net cafe residents before watching this video? How does this change your perception of life in Tokyo? Comment and chat with me. As we peel back the layers of this phenomenon, one question arises. How does a nation known for its economic innovation face such stark housing challenges? For many living in Japan's bustling cities, securing a home is not just a financial challenge, it's a significant obstacle. Tokyo, with its soaring property prices, ranks among the most expensive cities in the world. Renting even a modest apartment here involves more than just paying the first month's rent. Tenants face a long list of upfront costs, including security deposits, brokerage fees, and the traditional practice of key money, a non-refundable payment made to landlords. Altogether, these initial expenses can easily exceed $2,000 before moving in. In contrast, the cost of living in an internet cafe is starkly lower. For roughly $10 per day, you can access a small cubicle with a mattress, computer, internet, and shared amenities like bathrooms and vending machines. There are no upfront fees, security deposits, or monthly utility bills. Given this difference, many individuals find internet cafes a more practical option. This is not about a lack of desire for homes. It's a systemic issue where housing costs are beyond reach for many. Temporary workers, earning daily wages that barely cover basic expenses, often rely on internet cafes as a stopgap. According to a survey by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, nearly half of individuals in this situation report monthly incomes ranging from approximately $800 to $1,100. Compounding the economic challenge is the tradition of gift money, which typically requires tenants to pay an additional 1 to 2 months' rent as a gesture of gratitude to landlords. While rooted in historical practices, this custom adds to the financial strain for those already struggling to make ends meet. The question remains, how can housing systems evolve to better support hardworking individuals seeking a stable home? Numbers and statistics only tell part of the story. What about the people behind these figures? Let's meet them and hear their voices. Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Behind the significant statistics and challenges of Japan's housing situation are real people, each with their aspirations, struggles, and stories of resilience. These are the voices of individuals, sometimes referred to as net cafe residents, striving to find stability in an environment of rising living costs and economic uncertainty. Meet Tomo, a 26-year-old who once dreamed of becoming an engineer. His plans were filled with potential and hope. However, the high cost of living in Tokyo and the competitive job market made it difficult to achieve those goals. Today, Tomo works a temporary job during the day and spends his nights in an internet cafe. Tomo's cubicle, small but functional, holds his essential belongings: a backpack, a toothbrush, a change of clothes, and his laptop. Outside the cafe, the Tokyo skyline shines with opportunity, but for Tomo, those opportunities feel distant. "I just want to make it through each day," he says quietly, his focus on the screen before him. His story mirrors the experiences of many others, individuals navigating the challenges of a fast-paced urban environment. Inside these cubicles, every square inch is utilized. Tomo's area is organized with care, while another young resident has his uniform and personal items neatly arranged in a nearby cubicle. This transient lifestyle requires constant adaptability, with belongings condensed into what can fit in a single bag. The experiences of Tomo and others highlight the everyday realities faced by many in a city known for its progress and innovation. These individuals demonstrate resilience and determination, adapting to circumstances while pursuing a sense of stability. Their stories encourage us to reflect on the impact of economic challenges and the importance of understanding the human experiences behind statistics. Yet, it's not just financial hurdles that trap people in these conditions. Could cultural expectations and societal norms be equally responsible? Beneath the surface of Japan's thriving economy lies a cultural expectation that shapes every aspect of life. Ganbatte, a phrase that means, do your best. This philosophy can inspire individuals to overcome challenges with determination and resilience. However, for some, it may feel like an immense challenge, particularly in a society that often emphasizes perfection and hard work. From a young age, children in Japan are encouraged to strive for success and learn from setbacks. This mindset influences every stage of life: school, work, and personal relationships. While it can foster incredible achievements, it may also create a sense of pressure for those navigating life's inevitable difficulties. For individuals facing challenges like job loss or personal hardships, this can sometimes result in feelings of discouragement or isolation. Consider the case of Hiroshi, a 29-year-old who lost his job at a manufacturing company during an economic downturn. Despite years of dedication, his factory shut down, leaving him unable to secure employment quickly enough to cover his expenses. "I felt like I wasn't meeting expectations," he shares. For Hiroshi, finding refuge in an internet cafe provided a temporary escape and a space to rebuild without fear of judgment. The same cultural values that celebrate perseverance can also unintentionally contribute to feelings of exclusion for those facing setbacks. Temporary living spaces like internet cafes offer anonymity, but can also exacerbate feelings of separation from society. Such societal expectations can make it difficult for individuals like Hiroshi and Aya to seek help or identify long-term solutions. These challenges have broader implications, not just for individuals, but also for society as a whole. How can a nation continue to thrive if it overlooks the struggles of its people? If you could suggest one policy to help internet cafe refugees in Japan, what would it be? Drop your ideas in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If economic inequality has a face, it's the growing army of temporary workers. But how did Japan's economy shift to a system so reliant on precarious jobs? The answer lies in its turbulent past. Japan's economy, often celebrated for its technological advancements and resilience, faces a significant and growing issue: the rise of temporary workers and the economic inequality that comes with it. This shift, rooted in the aftermath of Japan's economic bubble burst in the 1990s, has left many workers in challenging situations. After the economic bubble collapsed, companies across Japan were forced to reevaluate their spending. To cut costs, they moved away from the traditional system of lifetime employment, which once guaranteed job security and career promotions. Instead, businesses began outsourcing their workforce to temporary staffing agencies. This system allowed companies to save money by avoiding costs like job insurance, pensions, and long-term benefits. For workers, however, this change has brought significant challenges. Temporary jobs now dominate the labor market, offering little to no stability. Many workers do not know when or where their next job will be. According to a government survey, over 70% of people living in internet cafes do not have stable employment. These jobs often pay so little that workers live paycheck to paycheck, with limited opportunities to save for future expenses like housing. Without a stable income, renting an apartment in cities like Tokyo becomes a distant dream. As we have discussed earlier, upfront costs like key money, security deposits, and brokerage fees can total more than $2,000 US. For someone earning just enough to cover daily expenses, this is a nearly insurmountable barrier. For many, internet cafes become a last resort. They offer flexibility. There is no lease to sign, no long-term commitment, and no upfront payments. But this flexibility comes at a cost. Take the story of Kenji, a 35-year-old man who once worked for a small construction company. After the company downsized, he was forced to take temporary jobs through an agency. The work was grueling and the pay was inconsistent. He managed to scrape together enough to stay in an internet cafe, but his dream of renting an apartment seemed impossible. The temporary worker system may have been a cost-saving measure for companies, but it has created a vulnerable workforce with limited opportunities for advancement. As we reflect on these stories, we must ask, how can we advocate for change? Is it time to revisit labor laws, ensure fair wages, and provide more support for those in temporary roles? What does a day in the life of someone living in an internet cafe look like? From dawn to dusk, every action is carefully calculated for survival. In the quiet hours of early morning, the daily ritual begins. Rows of small, dimly lit cubicles come to life as their occupants stir awake. Individuals living in internet cafes start their day by packing their belongings into backpacks, everything they own reduced to a few essentials. A toothbrush, a change of clothes, maybe a pair of shoes. With practiced efficiency, they fold up their makeshift bedding, tuck away their items, and step out into Tokyo's bustling streets. Every morning, these individuals leave their cubicles to head to temporary jobs that often change by the day or week. Some are laborers, others work in convenience stores or warehouses. Their shifts are long and physically demanding, but the pay barely covers the cost of food and their nightly stay at the cafe. After work, they return to the same cramped space, exhausted, but knowing tomorrow will look much the same. Inside these cubicles, space is a luxury. Most residents live within 3 walls barely wide enough to stretch out in. Each space has a computer, a small desk, and a reclining chair or mattress. Some cafes provide free tea or miso soup, but meals are often purchased from vending machines or convenience stores, keeping costs as low as possible. The constant hum of computers and the sterile glow of fluorescent lights create an environment that can be mentally and emotionally taxing. Privacy, a basic human need, is limited here. There are no doors to shut out the world, no personal space to retreat to. Conversations, coughs, and the occasional shuffle of belongings are constant reminders of others' presence. The lack of security and stability adds to the stress. Residents know their lives are tenuous. One missed shift or unexpected expense could mean losing even this temporary shelter. It's a daily struggle that weighs on mental health and morale. The lives of internet cafe residents highlight the hidden struggles of Japan's working poor. They are not homeless traditionally, many have jobs and work tirelessly to survive, yet they lack the security and dignity that stable housing provides. Their existence raises important questions. How did a society known for its economic prowess create a class of invisible citizens? And what can be done to address this growing issue? As well as the citizens themselves due to equipment, architecture, and the grassroots movement. Don't miss out on future stories like this one. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on the social issues shaping our world. When the world first learned about this hidden community, what changed, and perhaps more importantly, what didn't? The hidden world of Japan's internet cafe residents came to light in 2007 thanks to a documentary produced by Pon TV. This film introduced the term internet cafe resident to the public. It sparked discussions about the intersection of housing insecurity and labor instability in one of the world's most developed nations. It gave visibility to a growing social issue that had previously gone unnoticed by many. The subsequent media coverage ignited conversations across the country. People began examining the economic policies contributing to disparities and the lack of affordable housing in urban areas. However, awareness didn't always result in action. While some progress was made in addressing the issue, systemic challenges persisted, and the phenomenon of net cafe residents continued to grow. Despite the increased visibility, societal perceptions often contribute to the isolation of those living in internet cafes. Some view these individuals as lacking motivation or responsibility, assuming their circumstances stem solely from personal choices, rather than broader systemic challenges. This perception deepens their sense of alienation and hinders their ability to seek help or reintegrate into society. These societal judgments often exacerbate the emotional challenges faced by those already grappling with insecurity. They create a cycle where stigma discourages individuals from accessing resources or opportunities to improve their situation, further entrenching their struggles. The media's role in raising awareness about internet cafe residents is essential, but society is also responsible for moving beyond stereotypes and misconceptions. Awareness is only the first step. To achieve meaningful change, it is necessary to address the root causes of this issue: the lack of affordable housing, the instability of temporary work, and cultural attitudes that isolate those in need. As we reflect on these stories, one thing becomes clear. This issue isn't just about housing, it's about humanity. How can society move forward while leaving so many behind? If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.